I'm stuck in Japan. I get stuck in Japan for 4 months. Well, long story short, I was on my way to Taiwan, and there was a direct flight from Denver International, which is where I'm from, to Tokyo. So I caught it. It was literally dirt cheap. It was crazy because I kind of regret this. I should have upgraded to business class. They were willing to give me business first class for an extra $400. Normally the seats to Tokyo run about $10,000 a piece, so I would have been all total $800 on the whole flight. And I didn't take it, but anyway, needless to say, I got to Narita Airport, and I was sitting in Narita Airport for about 3 to 4 hours waiting on my transition flight to Taipei. And literally while I was in the air on my way to Japan, Taiwan decided to add Japan to the list of countries that aren't allowed to depart and allow people to enter. And the only way you can enter basically is if you're a Taiwan citizen. And if you did enter as a foreigner at that time, they were going to put you on a mandatory 14-day quarantine, and you would have to do it at a government facility. And they had just made it where you were going to have to pay yourself, because it was the Taiwan government basically paying for people that arrived. And needless to say, I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to pay nobody to basically quarantine me for 2 weeks. And as long as I was in Japan, I didn't have to abide by those same things, those same rules. So I'm like, okay, I'll just book me another flight at the end of the month to another country or back to Taiwan. Well, Taiwan essentially closed the whole border down. So I was like, okay, cool. Look, this is the, what's it called again? The Shinju Shrine. But, it's in Kyoto, by the way. Anyway, I was like, okay, cool, no problem. I'm not going to worry about that. But I started booking flights. So, for instance, I was like, well, Indonesia isn't closed, so I'll book a flight to Bali for the end of March. Booked a flight to Bali, boom, it got canceled. It's like, okay, cool, no problem. Well, I went to the airport in Tokyo, and I was like, well, let's see if I can go and get a flight to Hong Kong before they close the border. Nope, they weren't allowing nobody but Chinese nationals or Hong Kong citizens to board the flight. I was like, okay, cool, no problem. So I was like, well, maybe at the end of April, everything will calm down. So I booked another flight to the Philippines. I have a girlfriend that lives out in the Philippines, so I was like, well, hey, I'm going to go see my girlfriend. Let's go ahead and book a flight to the Philippines. Booked a flight to the Philippines. They extended their emergency measures till the end of May. I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm going to book a flight for the end of May. Nope. Can't get out at the end of May either. So here it is, almost middle of June. And I'm still in Japan. I've been here since early March. And I just went to the immigration office and extended my visa. The good thing is because of this pandemic, they're not really requiring any extenuating circumstances for you to get your visa extension. It's just a smooth process, really. You just go down to the immigration office, and once you get to the immigration office, they'll give you a form to fill out. You fill out that form, and then you go up to the applications desk. Once you get to the applications desk, you give them your application and your passport. And once you give them your application and your passport, they process all your information. They send you a number, and they send you to this desk. And when your number's called, then you go and do the interview. They ask you exactly what you're staying for and this and that. And I just straight up told them, shit, I've been trying to get a flight out of this country and I can't. And they were like, okay, cool. You wait another 10-15 minutes, and they call you up to what they call the admissions desk, and you go get a tax stamp. The tax stamp for the extension costs 4,000 yen, which, just to keep numbers simple in American money, I look at it as 100 yen is $1, so 40 bucks American roughly, and you get your visa extension. I got my visa extended until the end of September now. So worst case scenario, I'll be in Japan officially either half or most of the year, but it's not really bad because I've been to Tokyo. I rode the Shinkansen, which is the bullet train, down from Tokyo to Osaka. Stayed in Osaka for a while, stayed in Kobe, stayed in Izumi, which is right by the Osaka International Airport. Went back to Osaka and stayed a whole month. Got to go to Downtown and all that. See Osaka Castle. I'll be posting videos on that. And now I'm in Kyoto, and basically walking around seeing all the tourist sites and stuff in Kyoto. I don't know if you can see this, but check this. Right up at the top of that mountain is a shrine. I actually went up to the top of that mountain yesterday. You want to talk about a hell of a hike. I will just say this, man, for people that aren't in shape or that don't like to walk, Japan probably isn't the best place for you. And a lot of these tourist attractions, especially these temples, are not handicap friendly. So if you have any trouble walking, or if you're in a wheelchair, you will find it very difficult to see some of these places outside of the
Miyajima Island.
And I'll show y'all many pictures that I took, and took some videos, but mostly pictures, and I'll narrate them. But you see how intimidating and daunting those can actually be. And I'm actually going the wrong way because I'm about to go to this garden. And you can actually see how intimidating the stuff actually is, because it's not for the faint of heart. But anyway, so how did I get stuck out here? Basically, my flight got canceled, and I haven't been able to book any flights to any neighboring countries or anywhere for the time being, which is fine, but at the end of the day, it's not the best situation. It could be better.
Where you get
it could be better, and we'll see what happens in the future. But what I'm about to head to is another shrine and another park that they have in Kyoto. So we'll see what happens with that. I've been to so many places. I can what was it? Inaria Mountain. Beautiful place. Bunch of nature. Like I got some video on it. I got off the beaten path, and when I say off the beaten path, like went into the middle of the woods, and I was walking up a trail. Now in America, this trail would have been like a biking trail or a walking trail. Here, that off-road trail had cars coming down it. Some cars, very little, but I was surprised when I seen a car coming down in this area. It was pretty crazy. But hey, can't go wrong with it, right? Learning more about the country and stuff like that. Since I did get stuck here, I decided to start learning the hiragana, kanji, and the kana, and I've been practicing that. Pretty much learned the alphabet and learned the kana very well. My only issue now is translating some of that to English. But I honestly believe that if I was to stay here possibly even a year or two, I would know this language very well. Not probably fluent, but at least very conversational with it. It's not a difficult language, but once you start getting into the kanji, you're basically learning semi-Chinese at the same time that you're learning Japanese. And there's over 10,000 characters, with 2,500 kanji characters being used on a daily basis that the Japanese government has basically said they're for daily use. So at the end of the day, I've only learned about 200 of them. I still got a long way to go on the kanji. And the kanji are pronounced using the hiragana or the katakana. So that's an interesting little tidbit if y'all wanted to know that. But yeah, that's my little journey on 4 months in Japan and how I got stuck.